Lucky Lefty Podcast, Honora Boys. We are in the building, and we're brought to you by Honora Whiskey, HonoraWhiskey.com. Also, courtesy of Bleav Network for your audio enjoyment. Tap in with us, Apple Podcasts and Spotify on Bleav Network. And then you can go to FanDuel.com, download the FanDuel app, and what you will find is that Notre Dame is still a 6.5 point favorite over at FanDuel, and that over-under total is sitting right at 49.5. That's right, 49.5. So they expect this to be kind of a low-scoring affair, right in the 20s. Similar to this line is very similar to where the Miami line ended up, even though the spread was a little bit closer, a little bit thinner.
Indication.
Most people are saying Notre Dame in the money line. That's what they're saying. Take Notre Dame in the money line. But if you're a bettor, you can find all of that information for you over at FanDuel.com. And let me tell you something. After you enjoy the game and enjoy a Notre Dame win, make sure that you drink
responsibly.
Let's get it, Left. Lucky Lefty Podcast, Honora Boys in the building. I am Sean Davis, SD2 Mikes, that dude. The original Lucky Lefty himself, MALIK ZAIRE. We are brought to you by Honora Whiskey. Presented by FanDuel, and go tap in on Apple Podcasts and Spotify over at Bleav Network. I just dropped over on patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network, the first episode of Prep Star Recruiting. Prep Star Recruiting, covering Notre Dame recruiting, a weekly show exclusively over at patreon.com. So go grab that over at patreon.com. Sign up, check it out. Great content. We're going to have great interviews from 26 commits, 27 recruits, feedback from the huge recruiting weekend this weekend or next week's show, episode 2. So, man, it's going to be something to behold. Tap in right now over at patreon.com. You'll also get 4 for 40 with Reggie Brooks. The next episode is going to be dropping on tomorrow. And then the Players Only podcast. They're going to talk about this Texas A&M game. I can't wait to see what the former Fighting Irish players have to say. Exclusively patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Don't forget our YouTube. Subscribe. Hit that share button. And then hit the thumbs up because it helps with the views. Leave your comments and questions because we respond to all. If you have a GTB question, please put it in the chat so we can get to it early tonight. We want to clear the runway because we have a lot to hear from in form of Mike Mickens, defensive back coach. Oh, man, Jaden Greathouse, Leonard Moore, Boubacar Traore. We got a lot to hear from. Jadarian Price. We want to hear what was the move during the bye week. What's the mindset going to this game? How are you going to handle this speed from Texas A&M? We're going to hear from all of those individuals on those topics. Yeah, man. And then we're going to hear Malik's 3 keys tonight. We're going to hear his 3 keys because Left has to travel, get to Notre Dame. He has a big event. He's going to be signing autographs. He's going to be at the game. He's going to be talking to former players, getting intel, hopefully, after the game. And
working them back.
No doubt for the Lucky Left cast. So, Left, we got one question. I'm gonna get this off at the start. Who you got? Who do you have in the fight this weekend? When we were down in South Bend the last time, there was a big fight. What was that fight? I'm trying to remember what that fight was. The last time we were in South Bend, Left.
That was a OSU game.
Yes, that was the Ohio State year.
Yeah, I think so.
I forget what the fight was that weekend. No, that was not Ohio State. No, Ohio State we drove down because you did the Northern Illinois game.
Right. Oh, the fight was the Earl Spence one.
It wasn't Errol Spence fight. You're absolutely right. We stayed at the townhouse, and who came over?
Yo, that's so crazy. You're absolutely right. It was a fight, and then Terrence Crawford fighting again this weekend.
Yeah.
You got him winning or what?
I mean, I'm a huge Crawford fan.
That's what I'm saying. I'm a huge Crawford fan.
Yeah, I'm a huge Crawford fan. So just bias has me taking Crawford. Now, if I take a step back and be objective and say I worry about the added weight. It's one thing. A lot of people say he walks around at this weight. You know, it's really been hard for him the last 5 fights to get down to 147, to get down to 154. You jump in 2 weight divisions. That's tough. People have done it. Roy Jones did it to go up to light heavyweight. Canelo has done it. He got the Bivol though, and got a rude awakening. All right, I went too far. All right, no problem. I don't have a problem going back down.
The weight classes really make a difference.
I think the turning point of this fight is going to be early on, because I think Canelo will be dependent, because I don't think Canelo is going to come out wild just looking for the knockout. I think Canelo is going to come out and try to, allow his power and his size to wear on Crawford, and look to kind of take over in the middle of the fight.
But Crawford's such a skilled fighter. You think the pressure would work from Canelo? That's the question.
I just think Bud has to come out and be on his game for 12 rounds. No slip-ups. No slip-ups. He's going to get hit. He's going to have to take a punch. But just from a boxing standpoint, being able to give him different looks as an unorthodox fighter and as a natural fighter from both sides, that's an advantage for him. That's not anything you could prepare in sparring for somebody to be able to switch from southpaw back to unorthodox in the middle of a round, not from round to round.
Yeah.
In the middle of a round, you're just a guy's. So that's pretty incredible. That's pretty incredible that they're able to do that. So
that's cool.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a great fight. I do think it's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight.
Isn't it during the game?
No. It's on Netflix, and usually that fight will probably start somewhere 10:30 to 11 o'clock. And that's Central Time. It usually starts about 10 something. Yeah, so the game will be over. My day is absolutely, I can't even come to South Bend, bro. I have a wedding. I have a wedding to officiate. Then one of my best friends, his son is turning 16. So he's having a rite of passage ceremony for him. And he asked me to be part of the ceremony. That's in the evening. And then we have an event, a fundraiser at the church starting at 4 o'clock. So I have to go to the wedding, go to the fundraiser, go to my boy's event for his son. I'll get home probably in the second quarter of the game. And I'll probably be playing catch up. But it is what it is, bro. That's That's just the life of ministry, bro. It's the life of ministry. If you have a GTD question, tap in with us. The chat is slow. We usually have more people in the chat. I'm sure it'll pick up as we go throughout the show. Can I cover some of this recruiting left? Huge recruiting weekend. Notre Dame has close to 60 kids coming. It might be more because it continues to grow. All of the 26 commits except for Grayson McHugh, Kari Adams, and Joey O'Brien will be in attendance.
You said 60? How many do we have committed?
Yeah. Well, they had they had a 26-man, 25 of the commits. No, 24 of the commits from the 26 class would be on campus. That's just the commits.
Wow.
Yeah, so
and we will only offer like maybe 10 more out of that other group.
No, they really haven't offered the 27 offers. No, the 28 offers go out next March. So they pretty much, I think they're gonna have like 27 kids on campus. I'm estimating. I mean, I can look at the list, but I'm just estimating. They're gonna have over 60 kids.
How many of
in total? For what year?
Because didn't we get the extra scholarships?
No, they're done. They have like their class is done for the 2026. They're focused on the 27 class now.
Wow. That's so ahead.
Yeah. They're focused on the 27 class. And they have some 20. They got 228 quarterbacks coming in, and neither one of them are Jaden Wade, just so you know.
Well, we're doing wrong. This might be the gap year because we know who to get in this class. They say, you know what? We gotta break some of this up. You know, get a guy that's good QB room type of guy.
Lucky Lefty Podcast. Malik 3 Keys are brought to you by Nora Whiskey at NoraWhiskey.com. Malik gives the 3 keys to victory each and every week right here on Lucky Lefty Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. All right, Left, let's get to it. What are your 3 keys to victory this week against the Texas A&M Aggies, the 16th ranked Texas A&M Aggies that come into Notre Dame Stadium on Saturday night?
It's again, man. I tried to give them hints last week. Didn't do a good job of listening to the podcast, but I'm glad that we're catching guys coming home, getting on the way on the road back to the crib for dinner. They can catch this podcast. 3 keys to help. First key, defense has to show up for the first home game. When I say show up, I'm saying 3 turnovers. Cause dysfunction, cause a havoc. If we can slow their offense down or shock their offense early, they don't have the defense that can hang around the talent we have for 4 quarters. It will give CJ Carr a few extra stabs at home. Hopefully we can play field position with those turnovers that we get. CJ put on some points early, and we can start seeing the true talent we have on the whole team. So I don't know if that's lucky turnovers, hard work turnovers. We need them. So we need 3. I'm saying 3 is the key. Second, I got to see 25 to 30 touches by the running backs. Not RPOs. Not those slip screens. Handoffs. 25 to 30 handoffs. That way I can know that there's no way CJ will have more than that. With 25 to 30 carries in the running back group, I know for a fact CJ Carr will not have more than that. He would not be the second leading ball carrier. So that's the second key. As long as CJ Carr is not the second leading ball carrier or yard gainer, meaning on the ground, not through the air. Through the air, we like it. on the ground. If he's in the stat sheet higher than that's okay. If he is in the rushing category of the stat sheet, higher than Jadarian Price, higher or competing with Jeremiah Love, and teetering on more carries than Aeneas Williams. If we can do that, then we're in a good space. So 3 and below on the rushing stat category on the final catalog. Last point. Who is going to be our X factor on defense? I think it's a great challenge offensively from a receiver core standpoint. The quarterback's mobile. They rely on some big plays and they like to run the football, but who defensively can fill the shoes of Xavier X? And fill the shoes on, like Marcus Freeman says, he's not a talker as much as just on the field presence that calms the seas. That's going to make a play, spark something. We know that we have tons of talent, but who's the X factor? Who's the guy that we're like, ooh, okay, we got somebody. Preferably, I hope it's an edge rusher. Preferably an edge rusher. Would be nice if that was the guy that we'd be like, okay, he'll give out 2 sacks in clutch time. Hey, we set this game up. But we need a playmaker or X factor in the defense position. CJ Carr being 3rd or below on the rushing stat category. And lastly, we get 3 turnovers defensively. I think we'll be able to keep it a low-scoring game, but also give the offense an opportunity to lead from multiple vantage points, from field position, from good drives, from turnovers, and then also being at home, hitting a 35, 40-point total. If you get 3 turnovers, you should be good for getting close to that, just being efficient and using everybody we have. Defensively, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe we're shut down like the last 2 years, but we're good. So let's see how that goes. But what makes it special than the last 2, though?
Malik's 3 Keys brought to you by Nora Whiskey right here, Lucky Lefty Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up. X, TikTok, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod, Bleav Network, and presented by FanDuel. FanDuel.com. Go download the FanDuel app. So just to put a nice little bow on those recruits that will be coming in, we said the 26 class, 27 defensive tackle Braden Parks out of Chicago, Brother Rice, who is, in my opinion, the must get in the 27 class. Kid is 6'3", 6'4", 295 pounds. He's ready. You talking about getting interior guys that can rush the passer and make a difference? You can get this kid. He is the godson of Notre Dame legend Chris Zorge. So you would think Notre Dame should have an advantage or could have an upper hand. I spoke to him recently. They play on Friday night, and then he'll be traveling up to South Bend immediately after the game. And he's looking forward to the environment, and he's looking forward to watching that interior defensive line. So we need that interior defensive line, and like you said, left the defense to show up, not only to win the game, but also to impress. A big-time need on the defensive line in that 27 class, Braden Parks out of Chicago, Brother Rice. Another Chicago kid, ranked 49th in the nation in the 2027 class. I just know is rare. I'll be honest, because I rep my city, left, but it's rare that we do get a wide receiver. Every 2-3 years, we get a top 50 wide receiver out of Illinois. And once again, we have a top 50 guy from Chicago, Mount Carmel, Quentin Burrell. He was a stud at the Irish Invasion. Watched him. Great relationship with Mike Brown. He is NFL legacy, Big Ten legacy. His father played at Northwestern. 6'3", almost 200 pounds. Dude, he went to Ohio. They faced Archbishop Moeller in the first game of the year. He put up 12 receptions for 142 yards with 2 touchdowns. He's just a dude. Ladies and gentlemen, he's just a dude. He said, I want to see one thing. I'll be watching the offense. And guess what he said he's looking for, Left? He'll be in the stands, and he said, I'll be looking for explosive plays. He said, that's what I'll be looking for from the Notre Dame offense. So just some tidbits with 2 kids in the Chicagoland area that I spoke to. I also talked to a kid from out there. He goes to Sierra Canyon, 27 running back Jackson Stokes. Man, this kid is only a 3-star, but he has an offer from Oregon. He has an offer from Oregon. He has an offer from Ohio State. He has an offer from USC, Notre Dame, Penn State. Like, to be a 3-star, his offer list is really impressive. Really impressive. And Sierra Canyon is the 11th ranked team in the nation. They're ranked 11th in the nation. So Jackson Stokes is going to be on campus. And then you get into some of the other top prospects. Donald Tabron and Matthew Lee, 2 quarterbacks from the 28 class. Xander Edwards, Notre Dame legacy. His father, Mark Edwards, played back in the 90s for the Fighting Irish. He'll be on campus. He's a 28 kid. Jonas Walton, he'll be in town. And his brother, his younger brother, running back Jace Walton, is also a 28 kid. He'll be in town. The most important visitors, in my opinion, they're all important. But Notre Dame has 5 very impressive receivers on campus. 5 very impressive receivers on campus. Notre Dame legacy Julius Jones Jr. He'll be on campus. 27 wide receiver. The aforementioned Quentin Burrell. And dude, 5-star, ranked 3rd, dude, make top 25 in the nation. Monshawn Sales out of Indianapolis. Kid is absolutely fantastic. Just absolutely fantastic. He'll be there. AJ Roberts, another big receiver, 6'3", great with the ball in his hands. He'll be on campus, 27 kid. And then Jordan McKinley, a 28 kid out of the Chicago area from Loyola Academy here in Chicago. He's a 28 kid. He was at the Irish Invasion as well. This kid is already 200 pounds, bro. Already 200 pounds as a receiver. Big kid. And he said he's excited to see the atmosphere on Saturday night as well. So it's a big recruiting weekend, man. Huge recruiting weekend. I think the next one is going to be the USC game in October. But pretty much Notre Dame has 2 really big recruiting weekends this year. And that's what it's going to come down to. Devin Robertson is another big-time defensive tackle in the 27 class that's going to be on campus. He was at the Irish Invasion. He camped in Notre Dame, has a great relationship with Al Washington. The kid is out of Mississippi. Big-time motor, big-time athleticism, and a big body. He's going to be on campus. And, of course, one of his top schools is actually Texas A&M. He was at the Miami-Notre Dame game on his Miami visit for a game day. Now he'll be watching Notre Dame and Texas A&M, and Texas A&M is one of his top schools. So he will have seen 3 of his top schools in the first 3 weeks of the college football season. So that bears watching as well. It's his dream school. Notre Dame is his dream school. Those are his words. So hopefully Notre Dame can finish the deal. Yeah, you know, anytime Notre Dame can get a big kid from the South, that's huge. Another connection, Teddy Gerard, 2027 quarterback. Love, this is why you need to go tap in to Prep Star Recruiting. Because I played film from all the offensive guys, or most of the offensive guys, on how they started the season. Teddy Gerard a 27 quarterback is just extremely. He's more athletic than you give him credit for, and he's extremely accurate. He completed 73% of his balls last year. He's sitting right around 75 this year. The kid is just extremely accurate with the football. Noah Grubbs went from a private school, went up to the public school down there in Lake Mary, and struggled a little bit in the first half of his first game, led his team back to win it in the fourth quarter. Showed he dropped 20 pounds. We talked to Balin Trio, who was his quarterback coach. He's definitely an athlete. Now look at those two guys, and I think Notre Dame is setting up what we saw from CJ Carr. They want a quarterback that can run or be an extra runner. Yeah, you know what impressed me the most last weekend in college football? That cat John Mateer for Oklahoma. Man, he is absolutely fantastic in the run game. Now, when he faces up against teams that can control that offensive front and force him to have to pass the ball, and they're athletic enough to deal with him on the edges, I want to see how he responds to that. But man, he is going to be something else. He's going to be a challenge for SEC defenses for that Oklahoma offense. Because that Oklahoma defense looks like it's going to be for real for Brent Venable. They look like they're going to be for real. So, Jack Brown, Coors Loken, 227 tight ends. Cameron Wagner, two of his top schools are Texas A&M and Notre Dame. He's a big offensive lineman from downstate Illinois. He's going to be in attendance. And he's been on campus twice already, so this will be his third visit. So for him, he's going to be looking to differentiate. He is prophetic, though, and I told him this when I asked him, what are you going to be looking for when you watch, the O-line? And he said, I want to see how dominant the O-line is. So I hope his words reign prophetic on Saturday night, and I hope that the Notre Dame offensive line is indeed dominant against Texas A&M. You heard former Texas A&M.
What is safety. Dominant?
You tell me what dominant. You the one talking about they played a good game against Miami. You sitting up there capping.
They played above the average of college football. They didn't play to the standard of Notre Dame O-linemen, but at the same time, all factors included, they gave us a chance to win up until the last two plays. So this game, what would be dominant? Them scoring every drive, us getting 300 yards, 400 yards running. I don't know how the O-line can be dominant.
You're playing games right now. You're playing games right now. You're playing games right now. You're playing games right now, bro. You're playing games with these people that came for objectivity about this game. You please don't play in the face of these Notre Dame fans and try to speak like you don't understand what a dominant offensive performance from an offensive line looks like in a football game.
It's 250. It's 250 rushing dominant.
Do you need a point of reference?
Oh, perfect. Let's do a point of reference.
When Marcus Freeman dominated Clemson at home with Drew Pine at quarterback, they couldn't throw the ball, and they lined up and they smacked Clemson in the face for four quarters. That's a dominant performance.
That was 45-10 or something, right? Wasn't it like a crazy score?
Yes.
Yeah, if we can do 45-10 on Texas A&M, absolutely, that's dominant. But if we win 35-24, that's a good game.
They still can be dominant.
Oh, okay. So it's not about the score.
No. Run the ball.
I factor in
Run the ball for 170 yards. How about that? Run the ball for 170 yards. If UTSA can run the ball for over 170 yards on Texas A&M, how about you try doing that? How about that? Just run the ball. Because right now, let's be honest, bro. We don't have supreme confidence in pass pro with our tackles. We just don't. We don't. Stop. Our tackles haven't protected the quarterback in pass pro for 2 seasons. Or they haven't protected the quarterback consistently at the tackle position for 17 games. For 17 games, going back to last year, the tackles have failed to consistently do well in pass pro. That's just objectivity. That's just being objective.
Okay, but in transitive property, Steve's throwing for 53 passes in the game. His O-line is the Baltimore Ravens. I think if we're talking about us now, if he can throw for 53 passes,
left, that transitive property and that illusion that you like, you're a magician, bro. You like to get people to look over here. Like, look over here and forget what's in this hand.
Well, I'm just saying, because of that, there's no way we don't
Notre Dame tackles have struggled to consistently protect the quarterback for 17 games. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's been a struggle. Okay. Now we can build from there. Build from there. However you want to build from there, I'm fine.
But you can get 25 to 30 passes out of that O-line too.
I just need to limit the opportunities that they have to protect the quarterback, which means I need them to run block more than they pass protect on Saturday night. That's it. You said what? Combined 25 handoffs?
Yeah. Somebody got
Jeremiah Love and ZAIRE Price minimum
30 handoffs.
Okay.
In the game.
That's minimum. That's minimum. I don't need CJ Carr coming out throwing the ball 35 times.
No.
I don't need that.
No.
I don't need that.
Because that 25 to 30 handoffs should be big production. I mean, we're not just saying just to say we run the ball. No, that's a lot for players that we believe are so talented that, shoot, if Jeremiah Love is getting almost 200 yards rushing on 8-9 carries, shoot, just imagine just everybody else's touches. So I think that's just a play into the strength of the talent we have and where it's located.
Yeah.
Because you can even toss a couple of Will Pauling handoffs, I'm sure, in there, or Jaden Greyhouse, whatever, so reverses.
Well, Jordan Faison, they love getting the ball to Jordan Faison. Screens, reverses.
Is he the X factor?
Mike Denbrock loves him, bro. It's obvious. Man. It's obvious. It's very
that wouldn't be my idea of receiver one or most go-to receiver, considering Will Pauling got this captain out of nowhere. I'm thinking they're gonna be. I don't know. It's just when you're not there, it's just different.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Like Carnell Tate's right this year.
Carnell Tate's been right, bro. He's been right.
I mean, obviously, he's
been right, dude. Like early, he caught 3 passes in the first quarter against Texas, then they went away from him.
Yep.
He caught 2 balls early against Notre Dame, and then they went away from him. Like, dude,
caught a couple touchdowns. Yeah,
he's all. But when you have Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka, bro, I mean,
he's really just looking on par as the next guy out.
And he's always been that deep threat. Like, most of the time, he's running deep routes. That's his thing. He can take the top off the defense. So somebody asked me, like, yo, is Quinn Burrell something? No, that's totally different. No, Quinn Burrell, not as fast, but he's definitely plays a little bit stronger, and he's bigger than Carnell. Lucky podcast. All right, Left. You want to flip a coin, flip your red hat. Where you want to start? Because you start off talking about in your 3 keys, the defense. So, should we start with? Yeah, let's start with Coach Mickens. let's start with defensive back coach Mike Mickens. And he met with the media. And it's interesting when you think about it, bro. Because we assume that Notre Dame's defensive backs are going to be dominant.
I thought more dominant.
Both defensive backs had moments.
Christian Gray fought through it, but that's usually what we see. I just saw.
Well, I mean, Leonard Moore gave up the touchdown before the half, so
yeah,
and multiple first downs.
I feel like he could have turned it up more. More could have been more. I just feel like he was just not playing safe, but even on that touchdown, I feel like he was trying to funnel to the safety, but wasn't really trying to be physical on the way up. You know, just they kind of watched it. Now it was a great catch, but at the same time, you dream of those as a safety coming across that middle. He stretched out like that.
Mm-hmm.
That stretched out should have landed you in an actual stretcher.
Man,
I mean, the brother you couldn't have been longer, than that. That's you just hit.
All of this should have been. All of that should have been just man.
Like now I guess nowadays football that's a poster, but back when I was getting posters, that was a different poster. It was NFL Blitz. I mean, he split the dude in half in the helicopter or something crazy, just because back then they wasn't looking for the ball. They said, They said you better not go across the middle. That was the thing. The whole thing was you better not go across the middle. You gonna reach for that? Or we gonna punish you? Now it's like, we gotta get the highlights, OBJ, all of that. So.
All right, Mike Mickens talking about how they're going to handle the Texas A&M preparation. How they preparing?
Evaluate ourselves, continue to work on our technique, clean up things, continue to elevate communication, and just continue to progress in game to another jump.
How have you seen Leonard Moore grow as a leader in this group?
Very vocal, holds the standard. Comes today, comes every day with the standard and practice that way. So it's action and vocal. So that's what we love.
When you watched a kid like Leonard in high school, what impressed you the most about him?
Very mature. How he goes about his business. He's always been that way. He's been mature. When he came here, when I recruited him the same way. Just what you love about him.
He is a mature kid. So the backstory to this, because Mike Elko talked about Leonard Moore in his press conference. You do know his top two schools were Notre Dame and Duke. And that was Mike Elko's last year. And Notre Dame snatched him from Duke. I mean, Notre Dame, Duke. Notre Dame football, Duke football. It'd be different if it was a round ball. If it was a round ball, it'd be totally different. Well, not with the way Shrewsbury is recruiting right now. Because Shrewsbury is he's on a roll right now. He's on a little steamer right now.
It's only comparable.
As far as
Jackson.
Leonard Moore, come on, that's an easy choice. Easy choice. You made the right choice. But Mike Elko talked about, he put in a lot of work with Leonard Moore, and eventually he ended up choosing the Fighting Irish. But I like Mike Mickens just talking about, hey, man, look, we didn't play to our level, but we're going to keep doing what we do. Like, this is what we do at Notre Dame. This is DBU. Yeah, this is what we do. We're going to keep focusing on our fundamentals, do what we're supposed to do.
And man, we can't let nobody do that to us no more. like why do you even want the football in that moment? You're like, yes, he is ready to get put on ESPN Top 10. Instead, that's obviously going to be the play they rerun 500 times at the combine when he gets drafted. probably the reason why he gets drafted so high. Look at how he just mosses a Don Shula, yada, 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 yada. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It's one of those things.
Man, look, let me tell you something. If I look down, it's because, man, recruits are literally hitting me as they get home from practice. So, one of the things that I think is going to be interesting is the dynamic we talked about, right? Last year, before they played Texas A&M, we flat out told fans their wide receivers are no threat. Their wide receivers are no threat, and their quarterback is not good. Like Connor Wegman's not good, and their wide receivers can't get separation. So their offense is in trouble, just period. This year, you can't give their wide receivers too much room because they are quick, they are fast, they are explosive. And whether it's in special teams, the screen game, the jet sweep game, whatever it is, you have to be on alert. You have to be on alert all game long.
Gotta be on the alert all game for sure.
Yeah,
Just because it's a matter of space and tackling. So yeah, you may be there for the 5-yard catch, but what you necessarily can't prepare for, but have to be good at, is not only doing your job, but making sure you tackle, because that was usually going to kill you. Marcel Reed slipping out of a potential sack, big game for 20 yards. They extend the drive. We've been on the field for 20 minutes, so those are the things that I think are going to is going to take the sting out of what I think they do really well, which is just overload you athletically. Similar to what I guess Miami did to us. I mean, MALIK Tony was catching 5-yard routes, and we just bumbling, stumbling, can't catch him, can't tackle. It's like, good. We putting kids in the league off our game. So
yeah. And Mike Mickens talked about how they choose to handle, or how they're going to choose to handle that speed on Saturday night.
They have a lot of speed over there. They do a good job. And they showed that the first 2 games. And some good players over there, so it'll be a great challenge.
And then for your guys, does much change when there is a mobile quarterback, or is it just the game and philosophy?
Yeah, we still have our standard no matter who he is. He's a good player. Respect everybody that we go against. But our philosophy is our philosophy.
How would you evaluate your DBs after the Miami game?
It's just a continuous improvement. That's all we want to be, right? We want to continue to get better in everything that we do. That's our standard, to get better, continue to elevate, find ways to do that, and that's what we're doing.
Matt mentioned Marcel Reed and his mobility, but they also have run the ball pretty well. They kind of catch you in a little bit of a catch-22 there. How does that affect where your guys play and how you play?
No, they do a good job of being balanced. They get effective in both areas of the run game, pass game. They're a good offense, and we just got to continue to do what we do and preach what we preach and have clarity.
Yeah, he's right. They do have greater balance this year. The running game is far more effective, especially with the added runner in Marcel Reed. And then they have Notre Dame has the best running back room in the nation, in my opinion, right before Penn State. And the trio that they have at Texas A&M, they're not slouches. You're talking about Amari Daniels, Reuben Owens, and Le'Veon Moss. It's a pretty good trio of running backs that Notre Dame is going to have to shut down. And it goes back to the defensive line. That's a challenge for the defensive line. We can talk about the defensive backs and how they handle the speed of these wide receivers. But defensive line has to handle these running backs. And they cannot allow Texas A&M to have a balanced offense. They have to force Marcel Reed to win the game from the pocket and win the game with his arm.
Yeah, in terms of taking things away, like you said, we can't let them be running around and be dicing us in the pass game. That's a little bit what Carson Beck was getting warm with, and I think it just wears the defense out. giving up the second down explosives, giving up the third and shorts on plays where he's getting it out fast. That was the thing that killed us against Carson Beck. We're letting him get it out fast. So the D-line, like you said, that front seven has to be imposing, because if then we can get him running around and making some risky decisions, that plays into the turnover key that I had. But it's just a matter of how aggressive defensively are we going to be. That Miami game was probably the most passive I've seen us be in like 30 games. I mean, I had to think back to when are we just allowing teams to just do whatever. Maybe that's when I realized it was a luxury to have Al going and doing double safety blitz. That's the whole thing I was thinking. I'm like, we were mad about being overly aggressive 30 games ago. That turned out to be a blessing, get us to the national championship. Now we start off super passive. I don't know where that goes. You know what I mean? Do you go from passive to more aggressive instead of aggressive to less aggressive? But we kind of stayed in that high range. So once again, first game with a bye week, we should look way better. Way better.
And once again, for me, like the anger wore off, the disappointment wore off, went back, looked at the tape and just said, yo, they put themselves in position to get off the field on third downs multiple times. They had Miami in 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. Dude, that was like an automatic last year.
And one of the things too is what's the rotation? Do we believe that Leonard Moore can play a nickel position too? If Malachi Tony's killing us, Leonard Moore's quote unquote our best cover guy. Is there a way we can flop? I didn't imagine Carson Hobbs being involved as much as he was over Devontae Smith. I mean, not that I wasn't thinking he couldn't play, but I mean he played. You know what I mean? I wasn't thinking that as key player into our defense so early. So is that something that they're going to expose more, which is like, okay, do we have the versatility to rotate secondarily? You know, so we'll see.
Well, I would think that you would he traveled. I don't know. I have to look at the film. I know one of the last targets to Malachi Tony, Leonard Moore was defended him. And the pass fell incomplete when they tried to go downfield. So I don't know if that was an instance where he actually at the snap was covering him, or whether or not they were like in a zone or they switched released and he ended up covering Malachi Tony. But I knew he ended up causing the incompletion on the play to get the ball back to Notre Dame. I still feel like there is no resistance. It's something about this. This is why, and I'll say this is why people in Las Vegas feel the way they feel with this point spread. Texas A&M hasn't played anyone. They have yet to face any resistance. None. They've yet to face any resistance. And so you can say what you want to say. You tip your cap to Miami, but that was a heavyweight fight. That was two good teams. That was a heavyweight fight. 2-3 minutes left on the clock. Game is tied at 24. Miami went down, got the field goal. We didn't
feel like we was in control of that transition either. It just
they made the plays. They made the plays. And people forget that. I think that's what Vegas looks at. They're like, yo, Notre Dame didn't play their best. And with 2 minutes left, it was a tie game on the road. That's how people look at it. Analysts look at it. Like, yo, it was a tie game. You know, you had people like Peter Burns from SEC, like, yo, mark it down. After this week, Texas A&M is going to be the talk of college football. I'm like, all right, okay, all right, all right. Talk that talk. That's fine. Go out there on that limb and see if it holds you up. Because you best believe, I quoted it. So I'm going back to it. I'm like, I'm coming back to this tweet. I'm coming back to this post after this game. If it goes the way the opposite the way you think is going. You will hear from me because you're talking with your chest out. And it's like, man, relax. It's really people being disrespectful to Miami. People that talk like that. Like, oh man, you lost to Miami. Like, yo, that was a top 10. I mean, that was a ranked team, like on the road. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're up here, UTSA ran for 175 yards on you. Your own alumni literally just said, we haven't stopped the run game and big run plays in 2 years. This is what Jordan Pugh said. We played the clip last night. Like, stop walking around here acting like Texas A&M is walking in here, like they are, coming up to answer the question for Miss America. Like they are in the beauty pageant. Like they're one of the top contestants in the beauty pageant.
Yeah, no, you guys are just floating around good competition.
Yes. Like right now, Texas A&M is one of those countries that never win, never get anybody in the top 10 of the beauty pageant. And until they do, that's who they are.
Yeah, you can't say they're bad. They just...
No, this is not Vanessa Williams, bro. This ain't Vanessa Williams.
They just haven't contested to qualify them for being good. And the way they played those last 2 games is put some damage on, are they as good as they think we are? I don't know. I think for them, Notre Dame's a great test to say, okay, if beating them puts us on par where Miami is playing, which is at a high level. I don't believe they think they know they're at a high level until they play us. We played at a level.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest because I'm an honest person. And see, I'm gonna get on my boy because I love my boy Roosevelt, but he was nowhere to be found last year. And he pops up in the chat right now. I can't respect that. He was nowhere to be found.
That's what I'm saying. If you're nowhere around before the game.
Roosevelt, you're my boy, but I don't like that. I don't like when cats go hide when things aren't going well. They go hide. And
then when they see the coast is clear, you guys want to pop up. We was going to win the whole time.
Nah, you got to regain your boy's respect. Yeah. I appreciate you, but you got to regain your boy's respect. You on the back of a milk carton for a long time, bro. Back of a milk carton for a long time. It's good to see you, though. I'm glad everything's going well with you and the family.
Hey, don't hide and then go try to join the parade. You wasn't really shooting in the gym.
You said you wasn't really shooting in the gym. So yeah, I think that's why people feel, the way they feel about this game, right? There are people that feel like, oh man, see, they lost to Miami, so they swing the other way. And then you have people that are just like, Texas A&M really hasn't played anybody. So they swing in the other direction like a pendulum. And then it's our job to be objective and say, yo.
Just being objective.
This is a problem. This is what Notre Dame has to do. Here's Malik's 3 keys. And then the teams will step on the field and show us who's the better team. That's how it goes. Lucky Lefty podcast. So that's Mike Mickens and his thoughts on how his defense is going to be able to handle the Texas A&M offense. An offense that we talked about it the other day, ladies and gents. It's amazing because they are an explosive offense. We talked about the trio running backs. Then you go to the wide receivers. They have Terry Bussey, they have Mario Craver, and they have Casey Concepcion, the transfer from North Carolina State. So a lot of speed, a lot of explosiveness offensively, all over the place. And they have a young tight end that's been making plays in the middle of the field. Offensive line is questionable in pass pro. That's why I said left. I don't know what's going on with the coaching and offensive line because pass pro across all of college football has been suspect. I've watched for 3 weeks and watched suspect pass pro.
Something within the unit, non-football related, there's something going on, disconnect between. I'm sure if you go in there right now and ask all those guys what they're supposed to do, right off the top, they know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they go out to practice and have great practices.
I know one.
So I don't know. I don't know what. I don't think it's. I think it's a belief between what the coach is teaching them as opposed to them not being able to perform.
Mm. It could be, Left. It could be. It just strikes me. I'm like, yo, is it something with the coaching that has changed? Is it possibly, let's say 15 years ago, or the guys you played with, they knew they were expected to hold up for 4 seconds? It's so much quick game now, bro. It's almost like they don't even put the work in or have the same expectations to just take the pride to say, my man is not getting back there in under 4 seconds. Regardless of whether or not it's
That's
a quick
why I
set.
think it has to be a mentality or a belief between the coach, and the guys in the unit. Because I think looking at from a physical size, they have it. From knowing a technique or knowing having experience or whatever it may have you, they have that. So you're scratching your head to be like Emil Wagner. That was out of character because you know what to do. There has to be a disconnect between a belief in coaching in the game or even during the week and the player. Because that it was either a lack of focus or you just want to make up for lack thereof coaching. One or two. That's why you flailing looking like you trying to do Simon Says instead of in those moments being locked in with the expectation of we have to play at an elite level at this time during the game.
For me, as we move forward, Lucky Lefty podcast is going to be very important that the fundamentals are taken care of on Saturday night. Just play fundamental football. Don't make mistakes. And normally when you're the better team, you win. It could go the other way, especially when you're talking about people playing one game. But just 95% of the time, if the better team does not make mistakes over the course of 60 minutes, they come out as the victor. And I expect that to be the case for Notre Dame on Saturday night. Lucky Lefty Podcast, TikTok, Twitter, X at Lucky Lefty Pod. Prep Star Recruiting. Go check it out. Episode 1, patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Great review, great preview of all the visitors coming in for the big Texas A&M weekend. Talking to the 26th class, we reviewed the offensive guys in the 26th class and how they have performed during the first part of the season or their seasons. And then we talked about the big time 27 guys on campus, the must-gets, and how important it is for them to see what they want. And we talked about some of the things that they want to see from the Notre Dame offense and defense on Saturday night against Texas A&M. We gave you those tidbits. That's exclusively at patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Prep Star Recruiting. Notre Dame recruiting each and every week. Episode 1 is up right now over at patreon.com/Lucky Lefty Network. Bleav Network, and also presented by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com and download the FanDuel app. All right. So we heard from Mike Mickens. Now it's time to hear from two of probably your two best players. It's safe to say they could be the two best players on defense for Notre Dame this year. And we want to hear from the guy They came back against Miami, gave you 1.5 sacks. Boubacar Traore. And how are you going to handle being at home, the emotions, especially coming out off a loss? This is what Boubacar Traore said about handling that home night atmosphere.
We just got to be able to just play in Notre Dame football, just play together, and just like not try to let like the hyper game like just be bigger than what it is. I mean, it's another Saturday night at Notre Dame Stadium.
What has been the message in the defensive line room after the Miami game? What was really said?
Just play together, play as a unit, take the line of scrimmage. I feel like we did that against Miami, but I mean, it obviously didn't get us the outcome we wanted. So just focusing on that during practice, so it can translate towards the game, is something that we're focusing on.
What's been really emphasized this week in terms of pass rushing and also all the pressure you guys have on your backs? You know, people are kind of pressing the panic button a little bit.
Yeah, as far as pass rush with the quarterback we're going up against, I mean, we want to get to him, but we don't want to be like just too far up the field or just be able to cage the quarterback and be able to bring him down.
Yeah, there's going to be a challenge with Marcel Reed. You have to stay in your lanes. It's totally different than knowing Carson Beck is going to be back there. Go get him.
But I do think too it's just a lack of intensity. I don't think it has anything to do with taking what they do in practice and translating it to the field. Meaning, I don't think it's schematics or us being out of place necessarily. I think it's an urgency and an intensity of when we're getting beat on one-on-ones. That's having a dog in you. And that in the passingness that I don't think is necessarily a game plan and thing you need to bring. It's a mindset you need to bring defensively, especially against a team that's gonna win some one-on-ones. Who has the stronger mental toughness? Our mental toughness versus Miami weakened throughout the game once the dudes start doing the one-handed catch. They're killing us on 5-yard catches for 10, 12-yard first downs. So that losing over time, the one-on-one game is where we lost due to lack of intensity and I just think effort. So, you know, even in the way he talks, it just sounds like you're going to go out there and do exactly what they tell you. And everything else is just what happened.
I'm interested in seeing what Chris Ash's game plan for the diversity of explosive weapons that Texas A&M can deploy. I really am. Because I feel like I know what Al Golden would do. I feel like Al Golden would crowd the middle of the field and take away the run game and try to get pressure in Marcel Reed's face, particularly up the middle. You knew Al Golden would bring the linebackers. I think he would do that early on to they would definitely be in bump and run coverage, pressure on Marcel Reed, get the ball out of his hands quick, and then just collapse on the ball as a defense and get to 3rd and long and get off the field. Like, make Marcel Reed make quick decisions. Don't let him sit back there. Chris Ash and 3rd down, it looked like he had a propensity until it got late in that game to sit back in zone coverage. And some definitely on 1st down, it looked like he had that propensity as well. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what they have in store. Boubacar Traore was also asked about what is it going to be like coming home. But even more than that, just what's going to be different? What do you feel like is going to be different defensively for you guys in this matchup?
Well,
It meant the world. I had my family there, so it definitely meant a lot to me to be back on the field with my teammates.
And then how do you kind of have to adapt to how you pass rush when there is a mobile quarterback like Barcelona back there?
Yeah, definitely got to keep him in the pocket. Can't rush wild because he definitely has legs and is able to escape. So as long as we're crushing the pocket, playing as a unit, I feel like we'll do a great job.
Second game in a row against a veteran offensive line. What were some of the things that you learned from the Miami experience that can help you Saturday?
Kind of like let the game come to you. Texas A&M offensive line, they're really good, but we seen them last year. Similar guys, really good guys. So, I feel like just playing complementary football with the guys and just, especially with this quarterback that we're playing, just crushing the pocket and just playing together, I feel like we'll do a good job.
You mentioned let the game come to you, and yet Coach Freeman's also stressing this sense of urgency. How do you balance those two things?
Yeah, definitely got to start fast. As a defense, that's exactly what we want to do. We want to start fast, take the line of scrimmage. But as far as pass rushing, there's different keys you can pick on throughout the game that can help you later on in the game. So when it's time to really get a third down stop, I can do that.
That's a professional pass
Listen,
rusher.
no.
I just want to say,
wait a minute.
He's a professional pass rusher. He's gonna have a lot of sacks before he leaves Notre Dame. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say. That's all I want to say.
I'm not gonna let that slide.
Let what slide?
You haven't had enough sacks to be talking about how you're setting up guys for later in the game. We saw how you made a couple plays, but you, along with the unit, must have been setting up guys until the time ran out. How about we work on just getting to the ball every chance we get? And then as we develop that, now we can set up and all. We watching too many YouTube documentaries of these great defensive ends in the league that are, intellectualizing pass rushing with these level 400 theories of how you can do 7,000 different moves. But for us and where we're at, we're about causing havoc. Do you believe that when Georgia's defensive line, when they were winning championships back to back, that Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter were talking about, I like to set guys up all game? No. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith was, I'm getting after the ball.
I think Left froze. You good, Left? Now, I wanted Left to finish that because I really wanted to see where he was going. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead and finish, Left, because I want to see where you going while you drink your juicy juice.
Hey, can you see me though?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. But I'm saying the Georgia defensive line didn't intellectualize the spots in the game where they need to turn it on or when they need to set up and all that. It was an intensity throughout the entire thing. It was, we can rush these 3 or 4 and cause havoc. We'll worry about finesse moves and stuff later. So even when me, and Marcus Coach Freeman were talking about urgency, his priority was talking about there's a disconnect.
I heard something totally different.
Okay.
What I heard was, I am a pass rusher and I collect information to use as the game goes throughout. That doesn't say I'm not trying to get to the quarterback in the first quarter. But if I see something as I'm going on a pass rush in the first quarter and I see something that a offensive lineman does, it's like, okay, I'm a counter that.
I'm not giving him the qualification as some specialist.
That's saying you can't collect information unless you are somebody that has collected a certain amount of sacks. Like that's silly.
So a
That's
comedian
silly.
that says I'm a comedian after 3 shows, do you call him a true comedian?
If you make the decision to go on stage, the first time you go on stage, you are a comedian, and you are up for critique for somebody to say you're trash right now, bro. You're a comedian, but you're a bad comedian right now.
Okay. How many shows before you felt like you was a real ESPN journalist?
No, when I got called and got the gig, and they told me to come to Bristol, and I went to Bristol, and they gave me all my credentials, I was ESPN, bro. I might not have been good at that point, but I was ESPN. I made it. I made it a place that a lot of people never will make or will never get to. So I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that. All I know is he is going to be a really good pass rusher, in my opinion. And I think he was saying, like, I don't think everybody has the wherewithal to even notice certain things, to collect that information, to download it. Some people just go straight, man, all I do is just rush the passer. I got 2 moves, and if these 2 moves don't work, I'm not even paying attention
But
to the
you know why I
offensive
say
line
that? Because
and what they do.
I think of when we had Aaron, what was it, not Hernandez? What was his name? Number 11.
You talking about when you played?
Right before I played.
Out of Eshak.
Before Eshak.
Before Eshak?
The other end.
Number 11?
Freshman year, but had like a bunch of sacks.
Number 11.
He was opposite of Tuitt and Nix. Started as a freshman. He was getting a bunch of sacks.
Not Aaron Lynch.
Aaron Lynch.
Okay.
Aaron Lynch's impact came through energy and effort as
he was
a
19. His number was 19.
Oh, 19. But it came through energy and effort as a freshman. He didn't intellectualize how to get to the quarterback.
Bukar's not a freshman, bro. He's been on campus for 3 years. What are we talking about?
He's a freshman as an experience because, I mean, he only played, 1 game?
No, he literally walked on the field for one of his first plays against USC and sacked Caleb Williams. That's who he is. What are we talking about? He literally walked on the field against USC
you're qualifying,
and
okay.
sacked Caleb Williams.
Is he in the same breath as Isaiah Fowski?
Do you realize the pace he was on before he got hurt against Purdue?
Are they the same
dude was sacking the quarterback, had a pick 6. Like, what are we talking about?
Are they the same? Are they the same?
The only thing that stopped him from being a star last year was injury. That was it.
Yes. Okay, I agree.
That was it.
Is he the same kind of player as Fowski? Are we talking about the same kind of impact, top sack leader, or is he just a really good player that's developing?
Over 4 years, where would you put Isaiah Fowski? We're gonna do this one day. We're gonna do good. We're gonna do great.
Yeah, there's levels.
Wait. We're gonna do good Notre Dame player, great Notre Dame player, legendary Notre Dame player, GOAT Notre Dame player. We got 4 levels. We're gonna have 4 levels.
Some tiers to this.
Off of like the last 15 years, we're gonna grab all the players and we're gonna go ahead and put them on their right levels. Right. So I asked that. I brought that up to say, what level is Isaiah Fowski? Since you're asking me,
he said GOAT. It goes GOAT, legend.
Good.
Okay, great.
Legend, GOAT.
Where's Fowski in that?
Where's Fowski in that?
Okay.
Chat, let us know. Let us know, chat. Good,
technically, he has to be a legend because he set the record.
So by the same standard, wait a minute, because I'm about to walk off this show right now. So basically, you're about to sit up here and call Ian Book a legend?
See, I was hoping you didn't ask me
No. Because you said he set a record. So you say anybody that sets a record is a legend?
But this is not that kind of the winningest of all time is crazy. Let's say if Brady Quinn did that, there would never be another.
Didn't Jack Kaiser set a record? Didn't Jack Kaiser just set a record last year?
Jack Kaiser is 100% a legend. 101 because he got drafted by the league. 2, he played the most games. Oh my God, you are a legend. That's the best. That's the best thing you could ever. Might be the GOAT. How are you not? You played in 70 games.
Jack Kaiser is a legend.
He's a legend through mythology.
Jack Kaiser is a good Notre Dame player. I don't know what you're talking about, Left. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful, man. I promise you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
Come on, man.
I'm not.
Come on, man.
I'm not.
How can you play 70 games as just a good player?
He did it. I don't know. We have to get him on the show and ask him how he did it. That's exactly what he did. He played that many games as a good player in Notre Dame.
But no, he
Is he better than Manti?
You can't
So
do that.
Manti was what? Well, like I said, I don't want to get too deep into it.
Yeah, it's a show for him.
That's an entire show. That's an entire show. That's gonna be dope. But no, I don't, dude. I think we know. You just said he was headed to being a star. You literally just admitted to that. Boubacar. You said last year before the injury, he was headed to stardom.
Yeah. He's headed to stardom. But when you're, man, on nights like against Miami, impact has to be made, because then it justifies, I'm setting guys up for moments.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I understand what you're trying to say. I just think he is a craftsman at his job. Like he understands, like he's a pass rusher. Like dude, when you come in, they tell you it's third down, go sack the quarterback, and you go sack Caleb Williams. That's what you do. Like you coming in as a freshman, that's what you do. That's natural. Then you come back the next year, you start off on fire. That's who he is. He rushes the passer, right? And for him to come back in his first game, get to the quarterback in his first game back, just, man, good to be back on the field, missed the game. He probably felt like I'm trying to make sure that I'm totally healthy. All of that. Once he gets back to a full go, man, sky's the limit for Boubacar Traore. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. That's just the way I feel. So we move from Boubacar and we go to, like I said, I think Boubacar and Leonard Moore are the two best defensive players on this team currently. That's my belief. Kingston, if he gets more time, could get into that top 2. But right now, I'm rocking with Boubacar and Leonard Moore. And Leonard Moore was asked about getting off to a fast start, Left, and the A&M wide receiver core. This is what he had to say. Leonard Moore talking about the need to start fast.
Yeah, it goes back to eyes. I feel like even like last week, you got a lot of times our eyes weren't in the right place, and that's what ended up with the results that ended up happening. So that's what we got to come into this week focusing on, the little things, the eyes, keeping our eyes on.
And then last year, Jadaria mentioned A&M didn't offer him, and there was a chip on his shoulder. Is that kind of the same for you, just growing up a couple hours away?
I never had a chip like just based off of school offering me or not. That should be. It's always gonna be personal, whoever you play. Like, because at the end of the day, they're trying to come to our house and win.
Coach Freeman talked about trying to get a faster start. What are some of the things you guys are working on to try to make that happen?
I feel like it starts in practice, just having a sense of urgency from the jump from period 1. Whatever we do in practice, whether it's an indie drill or whether it's a team drill, just always coming in full speed and not warming up to it, but just starting fast.
I don't know, man. I want to see the hunger in guys' eyes. We need to start feeding them bologna sandwiches more. That NIL money just got them too smooth and set in a cool fashion. I'm just talking jazz, but however, I do think that it just needs to be seen. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, we some calm, cool, collected cucumbers in these interviews, but I would love to see it translate into a little bit of a jalapeno bacon wrap pepper. Things be good, but meaning a little spice, a little flavor. We give a very vanilla wafer. Oh, you don't like banana pudding? Okay, I was about to hit you with the vanilla wafer banana pudding. You don't like banana. We need to be in a position to really set the tone. I think that's what it is. And we set the tone for the game. We really let Miami set the pace. We let them do whatever they want. And we're like watching ourselves play, like as observers. We need to set the tone by applying pressure. And I just think that by starting fast, so little more just being more urgent, more aggressive, I think that in turn helps our offense be more aggressive. I think once the screens, I think it just threw us off, man. That first drive offensively, I'm like, there's no way we called that many screens on the play sheet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we spent about 3 weeks on game planning, and the first drive almost felt like the first drive of the national championship. How many plays till we take a shot? I mean, we're like trying to walk this team down the first drive of the season. And I'm like, this is what we did in the national championship game. 18 plays in the first drive. When we gonna put our foot on the gas? So that reminds me of Terrence Crawford, how first 2 rounds he comes out slow. Comes out slow early. Then he switches styles mid-round and he does, get you in the last couple. But for us, we need to be switching styles, starting fast off the rip. We've never been a team to be, it'll get ugly fast. Ours is we'll get ugly with you, and then maybe we'll decide to turn it up last minute or not. Like, depends on the day. But
Yeah, I said this before in the immediate aftermath of the loss to Miami. I said this is the 4th consecutive game against good competition that Notre Dame has started slow and played a subpar first half. I said now that is a trend. At that point, that is a trend. That is on the way to becoming who you are against good teams. Now, they were fortunate to beat all of those good teams except for Ohio State. They're good enough, talented enough, despite the slow start, to come back and beat all of those teams except an extremely talented and more talented team in Ohio State.
Yeah, they were just strong at our weaknesses. You know what I mean? Superstar receivers, and we couldn't we couldn't close a lead being down by throwing the football. That was our biggest kryptonite, and then clearly they had the biggest thing for us. Texas A&M, I just feel like if we could just survive their best shot early, I think just the environment of being at home, it does something for the players, does something for the fans. We could just take their best shot early. I think we'll be in control to have a good game against them. I don't think it'll be something where we got to have a last-minute field goal like our week 1. And coming out of half, we already talked. I mean, coming out of a bye week, we know the expectation. I want to see that Purdue whooping that we're telling the country, all right, guys, we're here. We had to just crank a couple things here, do a couple things here, but we figured it out. So winning is not good enough. We got to go dominate.
Yeah. I agree with that. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Subscribe on YouTube, Bleav Network, audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Presented by FanDuel. Go to FanDuel.com. Once again, over under total 49.5 for this matchup between the 16th ranked Aggies and the number 6 Fighting Irish, or the number 8 Fighting Irish. I'm sorry. And 6.5 point underdogs are the Aggies as they come into Notre Dame Stadium. That and more information, whether it's college football, the NFL, you can find over at FanDuel.com. Left, give me your yardage for Jadarian Price and Notre Dame on the ground. Give me your yardage for both guys combined on the ground. What's Notre Dame going to run for Saturday night?
Is this for Jadarian individually or just the room?
No, the room. Him and Jeremiah.
Between the two, I think we can get in the 300s because we should be 100 yards better than what UTSA's running back was able to do to Texas A&M. We should have in the 300 yards of rushing between the two of them. That's a good expectation. You think so?
Bruh, I love your enthusiasm, but I would take the under so fast on that 300. That they're not gaining 300. Dude, that's like
between the two?
No, they did that. They didn't do that against Purdue last year.
Oh, because we spread the ball out too much. I mean, this is just hopeful thinking.
I mean, you hopeful thinking that they get enough carries to get 300.
That's 25 to 30 carries. They should get 300 yards.
Yeah, they have to average like 12 yards a pop.
Okay.
To get 300. Like, come on.
Well,
bro.
what is 60-40 in a game plan then? Because it's 60% should be run heavy.
If they look, 200 yards, if you get both guys over 100, I would.
So both guys can get 150. Come on, SD.
No, dude. You know how many carries they? First of all, they're not about to sit up. You know. Let's be honest. You know they want. No. Can we be honest? Can we be honest? Can we be honest? You know they want on prime time, first home game. You know they want 13 to be a star. You know 13. They want 13 to be a star.
That's what's gonna throw my three keys off every time.
Come on, bro.
It's good. Great.
Come on, bro. They tried to make him a star last week. 2 weeks ago in his first start. Come on. You already know. Man, we are sitting here praying that Jadarian and Jeremiah get 25 rushes together. We're praying, like, please give them 25 carries. Please. Man, come on.
Oh, you're so right, man. That's why I can't be betting and stuff. And I had all the Miami fans talking about they didn't listen to my game plan. Please, y'all want to quote me talking about I'm wrong? Like, listen, the game plan I came from a general perspective. It wasn't
man. So Leonard Moore
based off of what you're saying. Okay, 200 is perfect.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a good number. Leonard Moore also talked about what they worked on the bye week. What did they work on during the bye week?
Normal technique stuff that we talk about each week. Obviously eyes, but just how we play in a receiver off certain releases.
What's the mindset heading into this matchup? In Miami, you guys gave up a few big plays. How do you plan on correcting that?
I feel like the mindset doesn't change. We always come into each game with the same mentality of playing fast and being violent and not letting the man across from us catch balls. But I feel like it's going to have more attention to detail this week and making sure we locked in on the little things.
In your place as a top corner in the country, how do you deal with that responsibility going into this game? Once again, a huge matchup for you guys.
I feel like it doesn't mean much to me, but I know that every receiver we're gonna get their best at the end of the day because they know if they come in here and have a good game against us, and it's gonna be good for them.
Leonard Moore didn't lie right there. He's right. With the buzz that exists around the Notre Dame defensive backfield, wide receivers are going to give Notre Dame their best shot because they know if I can put tape out against this secondary, it's going to be good for me going to the next level. Absolutely agree with what Leonard Moore said. Love what he said about the preparation. Like, our mindset doesn't change. I just hope Chris Ash's mindset is in line with the player's mindset, because how can I say this without getting... The players want to play. Notre Dame players want to play. They want to run. They do not want to read and react. They want to run, play fast, and play like their hair is on fire. That's what they want to do.
That's what it was.
That's what they want to do.
He didn't react.
Yes.
That's not our identity. We're gonna get there and ask questions later. Maybe that's why the whole I let the game come to me threw me off, because I didn't think our identity was that. I thought our identities were really going Max Bullock's identity. We're gonna run through here with our hair on fire, pass, physical, all the time. Hearing I'm gonna let it come to me sounds and looks like what we played like against Miami on the defensive line.
So, look, Leonard Moore has been very, I think everybody's been pretty straightforward. I told you it was real quiet on the home front. I just think they just come across to me like, man, we know what we got to do. Like, they're still irritated that they let one slip away. And they're like, you know what? We know what we got to do. And it's all that talk and coming out here with false bravado and no. We'll save all that for the tunnel. Like, once we walk down the tunnel, that's when we turn up. We're saving this for the football field. And I just really believe like they are a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. I just hope they don't blow up on themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, come Saturday night, I hope the explosion takes place and takes out Texas A&M any chances of them having a victory. Lucky Lefty podcast. All right, let's go to the offensive side of the ball, where the offense would try to do their job to kind of get into the 30s. You asked the question, you know, if Notre Dame is not able to hold Texas A&M under 20 and Texas A&M gets into the 20s, can Notre Dame get into the 30s? I'll let you answer that question. But that goes to the over-under total for this game at 49.5. If Notre Dame can get over that 30-point mark,
49.5.
If they can get to 30, 49.5 is doable for the over. It's doable. It's very doable.
We would have 32 or something like that, right?
And because of that, and because my belief, I'm going to push. 25 is what you said. I'm going to say they get exactly 25 carries between Jadarian Price and Jeremiah Love, exactly 25. And I'm going to say that CJ Carr throws the ball 25 to 30 times. Malachi Fields has a big night. He gets over 50 yards receiving. And Jaden Greathouse, who was quiet in the first game, has 50 yards receiving. Notre Dame will have two receivers over 50 yards. Mark it. That's my projection.
50 yards.
FanDuel.com.
He can get that. If you got 28 attempts, you can get two receivers over 50 yards.
I mean, heck, we asked for 220. We literally asked for 220 in his first game. He gave us 220. So,
okay. We started the season hot.
We couldn't even ask Riley for 220.
Will we get to 150 or that Drew
Man, we
Pine?
had to
Who was
lower
the
the bar
150
all the way
game?
down to 150 for Riley. 150. 150. We were asking
Don't you
Riley
see how
last for
low that
150.
bar is? I mean, come on, CJ. You ain't. I mean, you can do that with your left hand.
So Jaden Greathouse, who I expect to be Jaden Greathouse, I expect to be a big part
Of last game
of
or
the game plan. I expect him to be a big part of the passing game this week.
this week? Yeah.
He was
I
absent
mean-
last week. I didn't like it one bit, not one bit. I didn't like it at all. And he
Is
talked
Eli
about
Rarian- what does Eli Rarian have that I didn't know?
if Eli Rarian just needs to catch the ball, man.
But I mean, we're going to him like this is Michael Mayer.
He just needs to catch the ball, man. And with Eli Rarian, the attention to the running backs and the wide receivers they have, there is no excuse for Eli Rarian not to average 5 catches a game. No excuse. He's going to be wide open. He dropped 2 passes just wide open last week. Just wide open. All he has to do is make the layups. That's it. Just make the layups. You make the layups, you're going to have a good day. You're going to have a good day in this offense. And Jaden Greathouse, he talked about the urgency. Where's the urgency? Has it increased? This is what Jaden Greathouse had to say.
I mean, I don't think our sense of urgency has changed because we lost. I think as a team, it's always been kind of our motto to have a high sense of urgency ever since Coach Freeman got here, ever since my freshman year and last year. So it's always just something that we're continuing to try to improve on, trying to be as fast as possible and efficient at the same time as possible. And we're working on it every single day. So it's definitely something that's very prevalent every single day.
And what do you see on video from A&M, specifically in their secondary?
Yeah, you know, they returned a lot of their guys from last year. A lot of guys that we played last year will be playing again, and you know, they got a lot of good athletes in their secondary. You know, they like to get handsy a lot and that type of deal, but it shouldn't be anything that we can handle.
That cat said it shouldn't be nothing we can't handle. Okay, Jaden.
Didn't he have potential to go there, Texas A&M, or is that kind of where he's from?
Yeah, Texas kid. Yeah, he's Texas kid. Leonard Moore. They asked Leonard Moore, and Jadarian talked about it. Jadarian was like, they didn't give me an offer. He said the same thing last year, though. And then, you know, but they did offer great. Jaden Greathouse, they offered.
Yeah, Jaden Greathouse. I remember they offered him. So, I mean, yeah, Jaden Greathouse is a guy that just seems like he understands that it's more important to be ready in the moment in which you get the ball as opposed to him expecting 10-plus catches a game, which is fitting for why I think he should have a successful season. Because you're right, they didn't target him much in the first game, but you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to be targeting him heavy in the second game. Because something has to be different with a whole bye week. It's one thing if it was back-to-back weeks. They had a whole bye week to really think about it. Like, okay, can we really like design this for X, Y, and Z? So 2 weeks to prepare should become a better result.
I agree. Lucky Lefty podcast. Jaden Greathouse then was able to talk about the quarterbacks and CJ's performance and how his performance can get better in game 2 and a little bit more. And this is what he had to say about that, how they're going to improve offensively.
Expected. I'd say it's expected. Both of our quarterbacks have done more than enough to, earn our respect, earn the respect of the team. They've been great throughout the whole offseason, being leaders on and off the field. Just continuing to work hard, show that they're putting in the work and things like that. And so, I don't think they needed to do anything to earn our respect. I'm just glad to see them go out there and ball.
And then with this game, what does it mean to you just being from Texas?
Yeah, it means a lot. I have a lot of people reaching out, telling me they're coming to the game. seeing if they can get tickets, that kind of thing. A lot of people from my hometown will be there. So, it's always like being in college football, it's types of games like these that you always look forward to the most. And, just being able to, have those kind of roots there, it always makes the games a little more exciting. But at the end of the day, it's still football and we still got a job to do. And so we're going to get it done.
Where have you seen the offense make the most improvement during the bye week?
Oh, I definitely think from the bye week, we definitely, improved in our operation a lot. Just with our alignments being having a lot of urgency. Last game to practice, we were just and things like that. This week we're flying around, getting that good tempo in and making sure that we're just moving a lot more efficiently.
I'm gonna let you go at it. He sounds confident, bro. He's like the only person that steps up to the
was
mic.
important that they worked on because that's a faster way of getting lined up or more plays or more snaps. Because remember, in Miami game, I don't believe we just touched the ball enough, and then the times that we did and we turned it over, it just became bigger miscues considering we didn't get it back that much. So 2 early turnovers, a couple 3 and outs. That's 4 wasted turnovers, and if you only got the ball maybe 10 times, I mean, you're working back. So I think operationally being better by week to this week is important. But like you said, he is confident. I think a lot of that is because he probably believes that other teams just don't know how good they can be, and an opportunity to be at home to show that in the first game at home will be even more important. So it's more about what we still have to show as opposed to us licking our wounds and having to reshuffle the deck after losing the first week.
Yeah, I love there is a quiet confidence in Jaden Greathouse. The first thing he said was, I haven't seen any, we can handle. The defensive backs like to get physical, a little handsy. There's nothing we can't handle, right? And then he talks about the operation. And at the end, he says, we're going to get the job done. I love hearing that. That's what you want to hear. As a fan, you should want to hear that. All right, at least they feel like they figured out what needs to be done. And you have one of the leaders, on the team, one of the best players saying, yo, we're going to be good. We're going to be good. He sounded the most confident out of all the players we've heard from. Thus far, all the players we've heard from, Jaden Greathouse sounds the most confident. He sounds like somebody that's going to get the ball this week. That's what he sounds like. He sounds like somebody that's like, yeah, I'm in the game plan this week, y'all. None of that blocking on screens for everybody else.
I mean, that was, man, him blocking on screens and Jeremiah Love blocking through the A gap makes me sick. I just want to.
Yeah. I want a corn dog too. Hey, if I wasn't fasting, I would definitely probably get one.
Corn dog is not on the list. But
oh, Lucky Lefty podcast, Jadarian Price. Jadarian Price talked about and was asked about what the mindset of the team was during the bye week. What was the mindset of the team during the bye week?
Come back and the goal is to be 1-0 this week. That's been our mindset, as it should be every week. But just being able to get the 30 gritty yards and attack. That's all I'm gonna say.
And then you touched on what this game meant to you last year. What would just kind of going 2-0 against A&M mean to you for the rest of your life, just going back to Texas?
Yeah, one last time to play at A&M, but really it's just every time we have an opportunity to play in Notre Dame Stadium means a lot, no matter the opponent. So, even though it's A&M might mean a little bit more, but the fact that we're in Notre Dame Stadium means a lot.
Jaden and Leonard talked about urgency being something that's been stressed here during the bye week. How have you seen that, and what have you guys been working on to become more urgent?
As far as urgency, every time I walk through the halls, I see guys in the film room after hours, putting work in, whether it was a bye week or early on this week. Coach Freeman did a good job of relaying the message down, and all the position coaches, we got to be urgent. There's no shortcuts to this thing. We just gotta trust the process.
Let me call Cap on that question. First of all, this is how they try to set you up. The question was Jaden and Leonard talked about urgency being talked about. Jaden Greathouse literally said the urgency hasn't changed because we lost. We have the same urgency that we've had since Coach Freeman's gotten here. Then you got to watch. Sometimes you have to watch the media. Like Jaden Greathouse didn't say anything about the urgency. He didn't say anything about the urgency changing or being different. He flat out said
that by him.
He flat out said, "No, the urgency is the same as it's always been." They set JD up for that part of it, but go ahead, Left.
I mean, heck, he played with urgency.
My fault. You said he played with urgency, then you cut off.
Oh, okay, I heard me. I said, yeah, you play with urgency. I think he played with urgency when he played, so he's probably speaking truth to himself. He was like, yeah, well, shit, it's been the same as always. When I got in, I was a spark plug. So, hey.
He's always a spark plug. He was a spark plug in last year's game, offensively. So that's what he does. That's what he does. Let's hear from Jadarian one more time. Jadarian was asked about the offense. This is one of the best clips of the night. It really is. He was asked about the run game in the offense and how he sees it against Texas A&M. And this is what Jadarian had to say.
Yeah, just cleaning up our flaws and continue to trust in one another. All five guys on the line trusting each other, the backs trusting those guys and ourselves and the quarterbacks to be able to do their thing.
Miami's defense forced Irish to kind of throw a lot. We didn't see a lot from the run game as we expected. How do you establish the run game early for this game coming up?
Just every opportunity we get to run the ball, make it count, whether it's me or Jeremiah. And we don't take those reps for granted. It doesn't matter how many reps we get running the ball or without the ball. We're going to make something happen even if we don't have the ball. Just trusting the game plan, trusting the coaches and what they call, and being able to execute every play.
When you look at A&M's front seven, what stands out the most in film that you've been watching?
A&M's always had a good front seven, especially their D linemen and their edge rushers. Always been pretty good every year, and that's a challenge for us. And as we had a challenge against Miami, but we love to go against NFL guys, caliber guys, and it makes us better.
Yeah. That first part about trust is very interesting wording. O-line, all five guys being able to trust one another and us being able to trust that they're doing their job and, trust. As I said before, I'm just being honest, Fighting Irish fans.
Sorry,
I trust.
See, yeah, did me wrong as DL9. I had to really go get it now. Like, dang, I try to.
You were trying to smother the request, bro.
Yeah, I couldn't deny the request. Once it was put out there, it was over with.
Oh man. But no, the word trust that Jadarian talked about, man. Look, man. I don't trust the tackles in obvious pass rush situations right now. I just don't. I don't.
They're not the same guys, though.
And you're right, Left. Sometimes as Notre Dame fans, because we are spoiled due to offensive line play, like Notre Dame fans complained when they had Blake Fisher and Joe Alt at tackle. Notre Dame fans complained.
Blake Fisher and Joe are both starting in the league.
Starting in the league.
Doing
and
great.
Left tackle and right tackle looking good. It's crazy, right? And Notre Dame fans complained when they had them playing tackle.
Oh, they were saying Joe Alt should stay at a point, So
I'm Daddy.
So that just goes to show you, man. It really is. Maybe objectivity is needed, but in obvious third down situation, man. Chip with the tight end, chip with the running back, or hit the running back on the free release and let them go to work. As right now, until further notice, you just don't know what you're going to get. It's like having a trick-or-treat bag early Halloween. Like, you don't know what you're going to pull out. Are you going to pull out that candy you like? Or are you going to pull out that candy and you're like, I can't believe they gave us this. This is a horrible piece of candy. So at this point, it doesn't matter because Black hasn't even played tackle. He hasn't been practicing at tackle. So if you threw him in a tackle right now, you're doing him a disservice. It's just the operation is just right now. I just think it's like a hope and a prayer right now. We hope it gets better. We hope it gets better. As I said before, 17 games of inconsistent play in pass pro at the tackle position for 17 games. I didn't say bad. I just said inconsistent. And that I don't know. That's why I hope they run the ball on Saturday night and allow the best two players on the O-line against Miami were Billy Schrauff and Ashton Craig. Lean on your interior offensive lineman and run the ball. Run the ball and take shots down the field. Run the ball and take shots down the field for explosive plays. It's really that simple for your boy. Lucky Lefty Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, X, Instagram at Lucky Lefty Pod, Bleav Network. Please go tap in on the audio side, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We appreciate you. And then presented by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app or go to FanDuel.com. Remember, Malik's 3 keys. That's going to get Notre Dame to a victory.
3 turnovers defensively. We got CJ Carr being the third or below leading ball carrier. And the last one was
I'm Daddy.
what was the last one?
Daddy.
I'll play it back.
The defense.
Hello.
Hey, a little left.
Hey, little left.
I actually want to change my third one. The third one, I want to limit third downs. I know it's one thing that was tough for us was getting off the field in the second half, especially that first drive coming out of second half. Mm-hmm. Get off the field, guys. Give them below 50% on third down conversions. I feel like that's easy enough. Come on. That'll be another key to victory.
And like you said, they are a Jekyll and Hyde third down team. They're very good defensively on third downs, getting off the field, and they are very bad at converting third downs offensively. They don't want to get the third down. They want to get chunk plays, big plays with their speed. And that's something that one of the drives for Miami, they never saw a third down on one of the touchdown drives. Notre Dame never got them to third down. Can't have that. You have to get Texas A&M to third down and let your defensive backs do what they do best and let your pass rushers hunt. That's what you have to do, especially with the crowd noise. You have to allow the crowd to be a factor on Saturday night. You have to allow them to be a factor. Lucky Lefty Podcast. So for Left, Lil Left, SD2 mics, man, Left, you fly out. Do you need to? We'll talk about it, whether or not the show needs to be earlier tomorrow. But I know you fly out on Friday, right? All right. So we'll see you guys tomorrow for another edition of the Lucky Lefty Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your evening and make sure, as always, that you continue to spin it different.